Yo, what's up, guys? We're gonna go through some late night bets on Prize Picks, Underdog Fantasy. We'll kind of look through all the main sports books, but kind of as a recap, we have some decent starts on Prize Picks. Some of these plays I gave out on Twitter. Yeah, mediocre MLB day, but hey, this play's looking pretty good. We got Terry over 4.5 receptions, Sam Howell over 12.5 rushing yards. So anyways, maybe this slip will end up hitting for us. But, pretty tough day in general. Had New Mexico State for $2,000. That won. But garbage time field goal lost my total for 1250. Lost it by a point, but without further ado, let's get into some bets for Thursday Night Football. So we'll start out by looking at Thursday Night Football. There's some good promos as well. So I always say, these promos, it's the easiest money you're going to make sports betting. I gave out a bunch of plays on Twitter. You can see there's a 50% profit boost on FanDuel. Insanely profitable, right? Plus 100 goes to plus 150, plus 200 to plus 300. These boosts, these promos, these discounts, you can see Sleeper has a discount on DJ Moore from 49.5 to 41.5 yards. So it's okay, cool. How do we feel about DJ Moore? Is we can actually kind of take a look. So again, these promos, easiest money you're going to make sports betting, right? When I started sports betting, all I was betting was promos overall, sign-up bonuses, stuff like that. I mean, getting a 10-yard discount on DJ Moore, the rest of the market has him at you can see here on the OddsJam Sportsbook screen, they have him at 50.5, 54.5. You could even middle bet this, right? You could always, bet his promo, hit the over 41.5, and then you could head over to whatever, Hot Streak, and hit him under 54.5. And you can see clear value. But anyways, without further ado, let's kind of start getting into some picks. So where should we start? So where should we start? So why don't we start out here on we'll start out on Prize Picks, and there's not a ton of value right now, unfortunately. Well, hey, we got some plays showing up. Damn, we got some plays showing up. Okay. So why don't we start out here? This play seems pretty good. Prize Picks, Underdog, ParlayPlay. So we'll start out here on Prize Picks. Let me just make sure the screen is working properly because I know we've ran into some issues with that before, but no, it is. Okay. So let's go here. And the first play that looks pretty good is Tua to not throw an interception, right? So how are we looking on the screen? Are we live? So we're live. Let's make sure this is on. So this all should be working properly. I'm just making sure you can see my screen. Okay. So the first play we want to go with, or I'm going to go with, you don't have to go with it, but is Tua to not throw an interception. So again, Prize Picks is it's a pretty interesting platform, compared to a traditional sports book. When you think about DraftKings, right? There's a bunch of numbers, right? There's a bunch of odds, the Commanders are pretty big favorites, minus 265 favorites. Whereas on Prize Picks, first of all, you can't bet on teams to win. It's only player props. And then, they also don't have odds, right? Basically, the way that Prize Picks works is they just have fixed payouts. Any two-pick entry you create, overs, unders, whatever, any two-pick entry, you're going to be getting a 3x payout. So basically, why do we want to go with this pick? Why do we want to take Tua's under? Well, what we can do is we can kind of take a look at the data, right? So if you look at Tua, a lot of these books are starting to drop NFL props, is you'll see DraftKings, right? They have him heavily favored, Tua, to not throw an interception. He's minus 135 to throw an interception. So this play seems pretty good, right? Long story short, on Prize Picks, he's heavily favored to go under to not throw an interception. So on Prize Picks, we want to take his under. So this will be the first play we can go with. And then you can see it's the same thing for Russell Wilson, right? So if we pull up Russell Wilson, hey, he's heavily favored to not throw an interception. His under is heavily favored. So we're just following the data. I mean, I say that all the time. Some people get annoyed. It's oh, I watch sports. It's dude, every sports bettor watches sports. The way you're going to beat these books long term is really by following the data, understanding kind of how this stuff works. So you can see DraftKings, all these sports books have, so if we go back here, Tua, heavily favored to not throw an interception. And again, you don't just want to look at DraftKings. Like, I'm only saying DraftKings for the sake of example, but you can pull up all these other sports books, which OddsJam is doing. The fantasy optimizer for Prize Picks is one of the main tools. And you can see here, like, every sports book has Tua, every sports book has Tua as a pretty big favor to go under. So if we look here at the Dolphins game, where are you? So let's just go here on Flip. I got all my sports books pulled up, which is important. Like, I always recommend, keep your sports books logged into. So you can see once again, Tua heavily favored to not throw an interception. So you have all these books, right, who all have, sophisticated models, BetMGM, Barstool, DraftKings, Caesars, right? These are big companies, right? They've put a lot of money into their ability to set lines. They all have both these players heavily favored to go under. And we know that Prize Picks, if we take both overs or both unders, they're going to give us the same payout, right? So basically, sharp betting strategy on Prize Picks, how you get an edge, is you want to compare the lines on Prize Picks to those on the sports books and find spots where, books have one side of the line heavily favored. So you can see for like Trevor Lawrence, kind of as an example, there's not a ton of juice. Like, he's a little bit favored to throw a pick, minus 125 favorite, but not enough for the play to be profitable on Prize Picks. So, again, like, this stuff should make sense, right? Prize Picks doesn't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So it's really helpful, and really the key to beating Prize Picks is you compare their lines to the sports books, and you see spots where sports books have, an under heavily favored, like for Tua. But anyways, we got a couple of picks, but what we can do is we need some more picks. On Prize Picks, we want to go with 5 pick entries. So what I can do is I can kind of go back here, and we can head over to Prize Picks because there were some interesting plays. So this play actually, for example, if you were going to take Justin Fields, this play isn't good enough to like justify betting. Only slight juice. Like Pinnacle right here is known to be a very sharp, one of the sharpest bookmakers, really smart sports book. They have his over favored, so we'd rather take his over on Prize Picks as opposed to the under, but it's only very slightly favored, minus 124. So the next play I like, and you only have 2 data points here, but, hey, it's Thursday Night Football. We got to find some bets. And what am I on for Thursday Night Football? So, again, we already got some bets. If you, been tailing or not, but I think our main play, obviously, Terry over and then Sam Howell over in rushing yards. But I'm also on the Bears. I mean, we can see if I can pull up my bet here. Yeah, you can see here I have a pretty big bet, $1,600 on the Bears plus 6.5. So lines have been moving towards the Bears. So, I locked them in. I don't have much else to say. Like, you can take a look now and you can see, like, okay, where do most sports books, have the point spread for this game? I think they've moved down to like plus 6. So again, like 6 versus 6.5 is a big difference. It's all about getting an edge. Nobody's going to win every bet. Like, a lot of people want locks and crap like that I get asked for. It's like there's no such thing as, a lock in sports betting. I'm just showing you plays I'm betting that have an edge. It's like, 6 is a key number. That's 2 field goals in football. So plus 6.5, right, which I got on WinBet, is obviously better than plus 6. And you can see the Bears plus 6 is actually slightly juiced, slightly favored, anyways. So that plays really good. But anyways, without further ado, let's go back to Prize Picks. We got to finish our slip. So let me reload this. And we have a couple good plays. So it's like, okay. Damn, we also have Zach Wilson to throw an interception. So this play, I actually don't. Honestly, I'm not even sure. Like, I always try to be careful if I'm taking players in the same game. Zach Wilson and Russell Wilson. Wilson and Wilson. You want to be a little careful, right? Like, for example, it would make absolutely no sense to take, like, DJ Moore and Justin Fields to go opposite directions. So even if, like, there's value on both plays, you wouldn't want to include, Justin Fields under and DJ Moore over in the same slip, because that's his quarterback, right? If DJ Moore goes over in receiving yards, then Justin Fields is more likely to go over. So you kind of want to be a little careful of that. So we can, whatever, like we'll skip over the Zach Wilson play for now. But what we can do is we can take a look at like touchdown lines maybe. So what I can do is I can go here. So, whatever, the promo on Sleeper is good. If you don't have Sleeper yet, it's a good sports book. I really only bet promos on it, but they have a lot of promos. My refer a friend code is just my name, Alex, on the website. They have an $100 deposit match for new users. All these books have pretty, lucrative bonuses and stuff like that for signing up because they're all like marketing against each other. So a lot of money you can make just signing up for sports books. So a couple other plays that I was taking a look at. Diggs. Oh my gosh, I really like this play. Montgomery, I don't like. So let's take a look at Diggs, right? Again, you want to consider how much juice is towards the under. So if we take a look right here, right, we have 2 unders. So this is going to be an unders parade. I'm also going to go with Diggs under, to not score a touchdown, right? And you may be wondering like, oh, why, right, or whatever. And again, like I'm just kind of following the data. So you can see here, like all the sports books have him heavily favored to not score a touchdown. Minus 155, minus 150. So again, not a bunch of books post odds. Like you'll see, it's actually kind of annoying, and it's why these plays don't pop up on the optimizer. And I kind of like find them manually just looking at the sportsbook screen. Is most sports books, like a lot of them, they don't offer odds on the under. So for example, like on DraftKings, I can get Terry to score a touchdown at plus 115, but I can't bet him to go under. I can't bet him to not score a touchdown. And by the way, like these touchdown lines, like you really need to be browsing around odds on these because there are some massive discrepancies, in where these books will set their touchdown lines. So like FanDuel has him plus 175, right? So like obviously DraftKings is just fucking ripping you off. Plus 115, and literally their biggest competitor, FanDuel, is giving you plus 175, which just tells you like plus 115 is an absolute ripoff. But anyways, we can go back here, and what we can do is we can look for some more bets. So we need a couple more pairs on Prize Picks. So we have Diggs, right? Diggs is heavily favored to go under. Very simple. Nothing super special there. I'm just literally following the data. Like all the books have him as a minus 150 favorite, to go under. You can see, Raheem's favored to go under, but less, right? Like we'd rather take, like Fliff, for example, only has him minus 135 to go under. The market only has him as a, less big of a favorite to go under. I'm not saying it's a bad play, but if you were only going to take one, like Diggs is a bigger favorite to go under. So that's a better play to go with on Prize Picks, right? Prize Picks, you always get the same payout, so it all just boils down to what percentage of your picks can you win. And I've gone through the math before. Basically, on Prize Picks to be profitable, you have to win 54.25, percent. What am I doing? You have to win, these over-unders like Diggs to score or not score. Like you got to win these more or less above. If you win these more or less, your more or less picks above 54, 0.25% of the time, then you're going to be profitable. But that's not easy. A lot of people are like, oh, I only have to win 54.25% of my picks. It's like, that's not that easy, right? Because like you need a real edge, right? You got to win 55% of your picks, losing only 45 to make money, right? 50-50, if you win 50% of these, you lose 50, you have no edge. And again, the easiest way to do that is just following the data, right? Minus 150 means a 1.5 to 1 betting favorite, means I'm a minus, 60% to win. 1.5 to 1 favorite means 60% to win. But anyways, we can reload here. Let's reload Prize Picks, and let's just kind of like, we need one last pick. So we have Montgomery, Henry, we've already kind of looked at. So we can look at this guy, like, new running back, whatever for the Dolphins who's getting some playing time. You can see he's favored to go under. I mean, This play seems decent, right? Flip has him minus 140. So, like, if you wanted a third pick, but I already have Tua, no interception, so I don't know if it makes sense to, like, pair any of the, you know. Damn, they got rid of Kelsey. So, Kelsey's over was really good, but it looks like they pulled Kelsey, which kind of sucks because I was looking forward to betting Kelsey's over. Guess that's not going to happen. But anyways, what we can do is we can go back here and let's see if there's any other picks. Whoa. Whoa. Here's another option, right? Chase Young under. Again, it doesn't make sense to take, you know, player sack plays for players on opposing teams. So we wouldn't want to take Chase Young's over as well as this player's. So we only want to take one. But this play seems decent. Brian Robinson, right, to go under. Pinnacle is a really sharp sports book. They have this minus 148. So what we can do is we can go back here, and dang, you know, this can be our fifth pick. Kind of stumbled upon it. So we have Brian Robinson under 1.5 receptions. And again, the only reason I'm really looking at these touchdown lines is sometimes there's some good value. So Robinson, you know, you can see here, he's pretty heavily favored to go under, minus 140, minus 150 on the sports book, so that seems decent. So this can be the prize pick slip we lock in. And again, like you can kind of like create some different variations if you want to. You know, if you prefer the play on, you know, if you prefer the play on Chase Young, whatever, by all means, like you can see DraftKings says is under heavily favored, like, you know, take the play on Chase Young, wherever it was. Now I lost it, but same thing here, right? If you'd prefer to take, you know, Zach Wilson, who is everyone's worst enemy, like you can see, like, again, it all boils down to win rate on prize picks. So in general, you want to take the picks with the highest percentage chance to hit. Again, anything above 54.25% of the time is profitable. So like, but again, like Wilson versus Russell versus Zach is like very marginal. So kind of whatever. But anyways, let's go to Underdog. Damn. So Underdog is crazy, man, with their esports line discrepancies. So, I mean, this play is crazy, right? So look at this play. CSGO play. Again, like OddsJam really doesn't do anything complicated. It's just sportsbooks have thousands of lines. You know, like there's unlimited things we could play on Underdog Fantasy. It's like overwhelming, right? Like, so all OddsJam is doing is pointing out to you like, hey, here's some value. Hey, here's some value, whatever. So if we take a look here, so I actually want to go to esports so I can, what the hell? So let's go back here and we got to find this. So if we go here and we can take a look at Anna, right? Here we go. Damn. Underdog Fantasy, you can see they had the line at 31.5. They already bumped it up to 34. They already bumped it up to 34. Right? So, pretty crazy. But what we can do is we can go to this play, which is fucking insane too. Right? Am I insane or like this is crazy. I don't think people understand how insane this is. Is this player D7 his headshot line? You can see OddsJam is recommending we take the over. His headshot line is 13 on Underdog. ParlayPlay, another, you know, kind of fantasy site, they have his line at 16. And then what about Prize Picks? Where does Prize Picks have his line? So if we go to Prize Picks, you can see they have his line at, did they pull it? It looks like Prize Picks, do they not even have a lineup anymore? I thought they had a lineup. So let's refresh this. Maybe I'm not spelling it right. I mean, sometimes these CSGO guys, they have weird spelling. Big Equa versus Nigma. Let's have the weirdest names for these teams. But what we can do is we can kind of like take a look here. I mean, does Prize Picks have this lineup? Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they ended up pulling it. I'm not sure. But long story short, like you can see, like this is a crazy discrepancy. 13 here, 16 here, right? Like, and on ParlayPlay, So this is another platform I recommend getting. I mean, again, really the more books you have, the better. All these books have different lines. They all have different promos. So like what's nice about ParlayPlay is every day, so like it's a new day, it's 2 a.m. Eastern, is they let you bump a line in the direction you want to. So like if we want to take this guy to go under, you know, we already have him under 16, but you could bump him up to 16 and a half and take the under, right? And Underdog has his line at 13. So this is crazy, right? We could bet his over 13 on Underdog, his under 16 and a half on a ParlayPlay. Like that's a crazy big discrepancy. But anyways, you can see there's some other plays too. I mean, what kind of sucks about Underdog though is you can only play one pick from the same game. So we kind of got to like pick one, you know, so we could take, you know, 20 under 34 half. Underdog has her line at 31 and a half. You know, where does Prize Picks have her? I don't even see a line on Prize Picks anymore. Oh, this isn't CSGO. Huh. I'm not even looking at the right league. This is CS. I don't even know where this is. CS2. So I had the wrong league selected, so I apologize. You can see, you know, all these lines are on Prize Picks, 34, 31 and a half on Underdog. So you have kind of, you know, a lot of options you could go with. So like this player, Anna, right? Is this line on Prize Picks? It is, right? So this is wild, right? Her line is 36 and a half. Man, there are a lot of CSGO plays. Her line is 31 and a half on Underdog, it looks like. Anna, right? Well, they bumped her up to 34. I forgot about that. So anyways, let's go back here. And we got to find some picks. We are talking too much. Damn. So this is another play we can go with on Underdog Fantasy. So we have D7. Again, you can only take one play per game. So we can move on to the next game, and we can take, like, whatever, Jacquinho over 12. So why do we like this pick? Again, I always kind of like to show the data. Explain why I'm betting on, you know, what I'm betting on. I really think, like, understanding the process is really important. So this line actually looks better on JockMarket, right? Or no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I want to be looking at headshots, not kills. So you can see here, like, this is crazy, right? Underdog has the line at 12. ParlayPlay has the line at 13 and a half. Even if you don't use ParlayPlay, even if it's not, like, legal in your location, this is a data point. And it's like, oh, like, you know, this is another book that has invested a lot of money in their ability to set lines. They're taking action, moving around lines based on, you know, where stuff's coming in, where bets are coming in. And, you know, they have the line at 13 and a half. Hot Streak has the line at 14 and a half, and they have the over juiced, right? They not only have the line higher at 14 and a half, they have the over juiced. So again, you could middle bet this. If you wanted to, you could take the over 12, the under 14 and a half. The only requirement is you're not lazy and you have Underdog and you have Hot Streak, right? You need to have more sports books to, like, here's Hot Streak right here. And I know it's not like a sexy platform, but I mean, we freaking crushed them this weekend, 100 to 2.4K. So let's go back here. We have our second pick. That looks real good. Ooh, baby. So we can take Hunter under 20. You can see Prize Picks has his line at 18 and a half. It's like, okay, you know, like, again, I follow a very data-driven approach because the data never lies, right? Like, if you are betting with data, you will always win long-term. You know, it's kind of like arbitrage betting. Arbitrage betting is when these sports books get super, super out of sync with one another. Like you can see here, minus 200, minus 305, that you can bet the over on one book, the under on another book, and guarantee yourself a risk-free profit. And so many people will be like, oh, who cares about risk-free money? Like, I know this game's going over. It's like, you know, like, oh my God, my screen is frozen. Are you fucking kidding me? Is this frozen? So anyways, let me refresh this. Oh my God.